Here is something most people never figure out until it is too late. When you sign a student loan, you are handed a repayment schedule. 10 years, standard plan, here's your monthly payment, goodbye. And most people just accept it. They set up autopay, make the minimum every month, and 10 years later they realize they paid thousands of dollars in interest on top of the money they actually borrowed. That is the trap. Not the loan itself, the assumption that the timeline is fixed. It is not, and in this video you're going to learn exactly how to get out years early. Let us start with why the standard plan is expensive. Say you borrowed $30,000 at 6% interest on a 10-year plan. Your monthly payment is around $333. Over 10 years you will pay about $9,900 in interest, on top of the $30,000 you borrowed. Nearly $10,000 that goes to the lender and produces nothing for you. Now imagine cutting that repayment down to 6 years. Same loan, same rate. You pay about $5,700 in interest. You just saved over $4,000 and freed yourself up 4 years earlier to invest, save, or spend that monthly payment on your own life. The strategies that actually work are not complicated, but they require you to be intentional. To stop treating the minimum payment as a ceiling and start treating it as a floor. Strategy 1. Make extra payments, but do it correctly. When you send an extra payment to your loan servicer, you need to specify that it goes toward the principal balance, not toward next month's payment. Many servicers will automatically apply extra payments to advance your next due date, which does nothing to reduce your interest. You have to call or log in and designate the extra payment to go toward principal only. That one step is the difference between actually cutting years off your loan and just prepaying future minimums that still accumulate interest the same way. Strategy 2. Switch to biweekly payments. Instead of making one full payment per month, make half a payment every 2 weeks. Because there are 52 weeks in a year, this results in 26 half payments, which equals 13 full payments per year instead of 12. You are making one extra full payment every year without feeling it in your budget. On a $30,000 loan at 6%, this alone can cut almost a year off your repayment and save over $1,000 in interest. Strategy 3. Use the debt avalanche. If you have multiple student loans at different interest rates, which most borrowers do, list them from highest interest rate to lowest. Put every extra dollar toward the highest rate loan first while making minimums on the rest. Once that loan is gone, roll its full payment into the next one. This is the mathematically optimal approach. It minimizes total interest paid across all loans. The alternative, the debt snowball, paying off smallest balance first, feels better emotionally, but costs more in interest. Pick whichever keeps you motivated, but know that the avalanche wins on paper. Strategy 4. Refinancing. When it makes sense and when it does not. Refinancing means taking out a new private loan to pay off your existing loans at a lower interest rate. If you have good credit, a stable income, and private student loans at a high rate, refinancing can cut your rate significantly and save you thousands. But here is the critical warning. If you have federal student loans, think very carefully before refinancing them into a private loan. The moment you refinance federal loans privately, you lose access to income-driven repayment plans, federal forbearance protections, and any path to federal loan forgiveness, including public service loan forgiveness. If none of those programs apply to you and your rate is high, refinancing can make sense. If there is any chance you will need those federal protections, keep your loans federal. Strategy 5. Apply every windfall directly to principal. Tax refund goes to the loan. Work bonus goes to the loan. Birthday money, side hustle income, anything extra goes to the loan. This is one of the highest leverage moves you can make because it hits the principal directly at a moment when you were not expecting the money anyway. A $2,000 tax refund applied to a 6% loan is a guaranteed 6% return that also accelerates every future payment because the balance is now smaller. If you put that $2,000 in a savings account earning 4.5% instead, you are actually behind. Strategy 6. Create a dedicated income stream for the debt. One side hustle, one gig, one freelance project, and all of the income from it goes straight to the loan. Nothing else. This mental separation is powerful. You are not giving up your day job income. You are building a repayment engine alongside it. Even an extra $400 per month applied to principal on a $30,000 loan cuts the repayment time almost in half. Strategy 7. Check your employer's repayment benefits. As of 2025, employers can offer up to $5,250 per year in student loan repayment assistance as a tax-free benefit, meaning it does not count as income to you. Many companies now offer this benefit, and employees do not know about it. Go to HR and ask directly. If your company offers this and you are not using it, you are leaving money on the table every single year. Now let us talk about what not to do, because some moves look helpful, but actually make things worse. Deferment and forbearance pause your payments. But on most loan types, interest keeps accruing. If you defer a $30,000 loan at 6% for 2 years without paying anything toward interest, your balance grows by about $3,700. You come back from the pause deeper in the hole than when you left. Only use deferment or forbearance if you genuinely have no other option. And if you do, try to at least pay the interest, so the balance does not grow. Do not ignore income-driven repayment if your income is low. If your monthly payment on a standard plan is straining your budget, switching to an income-driven plan temporarily can free up cash to cover emergencies or build a small cushion. But only use it as a bridge, not a permanent strategy unless you are on a forgiveness track. If you just use IDR to lower your payment with no forgiveness path, you will pay more interest over a longer period. It only makes sense as a deliberate strategy. And do not refinance federal loans just because someone on social media told you to. The rate might look attractive, but the protections you give up when income-driven repayment, deferment options, forgiveness eligibility can be worth more than the rate savings if your life circumstances change unexpectedly. Here's the bottom line. The student loan trap is not the interest rate, and it is not the balance. The trap is believing that the lender's schedule is your schedule. It is not. Every extra dollar toward principal, every biweekly trick, every windfall applied correctly, all of it compresses a 10-year sentence into 6 or 7 years and puts thousands of dollars back in your pocket. The people who get out of student debt fast are not the ones who make the most money. They are the ones who treat the loan like an enemy to be eliminated, not a bill to be managed. You have the playbook now. Pick 2 or 3 of these strategies and start this month. Even $100 extra per month applied correctly moves the needle more than most people realize. If this gave you a clear path forward, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Tell me your loan balance and which strategy you are going to try first. Share this with someone who needs to stop paying the minimum and start playing offense.